So welcome guys to the call, and hopefully all of you guys, if you didn't make it last week, you have now watched the call and you have now all got your vision board, okay? Because this call is going to be very tightly connected to that vision board. And I will just say, if you have not done it, if you write down your goals but you don't have a vision, or you haven't updated your vision board and it's not clear, then when you go to put in the work, which ultimately is achieving your goals, you're not going to put the work in because you haven't got clear on your vision and where you're going. And without that intention and fire in your gut, doesn't matter how much you want to achieve those goals. Fact of the matter is you won't put in the work to get there, because to achieve any goal requires work, and that requires self-discipline, and we're not going to be self-disciplined if we haven't got a clear vision and we haven't got a clear driver as to why we want to achieve that vision. Okay, so getting really cut and dry on that vision board is so fundamental. So scratch the goals until you've done the vision board. If you haven't watched the vision board call, watch that call, do the vision board. Promise me you'll do it, because honestly, I can promise you there is no way any of you or me will achieve our goals if we don't have a vision that we're working towards. It's that simple. Until you have that vision, it won't happen. And I speak from experience, because it took me about 8 months to create my vision board. And it was 8 months in that I really started going for it, absolutely doubling, trebling what I'd been doing in the past. And it's because I'd got really clear on my vision and where I was going. And I believed it was possible for me. Okay. So it's really going to help you with that self-belief and confidence piece. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let's just find Tinkle. Okay. So as usual, if you've got any questions, just ask at the end. We're just going to go through like the main bits. Hopefully with the noteworthy items, all of this team should be really aware of what's going on, because if you're not doing Control Freak, you are missing a massive trick for your business. And if you haven't seen all of the girls that are doing Control Freak in their social media, you will know that this is going to be the driver for the next 6 months. This is what's going to elevate you and propel you for the next 6 months. These launches, when they're amazing launches like this one, and I suspect, as I've been saying in my stories, I genuinely believe, hand on heart, this is going to be the launch of all of the time that I've certainly been at Beachbody. It is unlike any other home workout program we've ever seen before. It comes with a door track. People that want to get into the gym, it really rivals the gym in a really obvious way, okay? Because essentially you've got a cable pulling machine at home. So get behind it. It's all about having that investment mindset. What you put in, you will get out. But if you believe you're going to spend money and not get it back, then guess what? It won't happen, okay? So it's really all about that intentional mindset of I will reap what I sow. And that applies to this, and it applies to everything in your business and the mindset that you take towards it in that respect. So hopefully you guys are all aware. Anyone that's doing Control Freak, if you haven't got it already, I strongly advise you to get hold of your pack today. I know that the packs are running low. I know that the demand has been absolutely huge for this program, and we are all going to start on December the 21st. No, it's just before Christmas, but I think we're all super excited. I know some of you guys have been getting the door track set up and everything else. So just make sure you get your order in if you're intending to do it with us. You've got the Vimeo sample workout. You've also got the Vimeo little taster teaser video that I've been sending to a few people. That's really the way that I've been kind of reeling them in, and that's been working quite well. So the accessories bundle for coaches is 75 PV, which means that it is enough to take you back to active, or any coaches or discount coaches that you have in your downline. Make sure you've reached out to them. Make sure you've reached out to previous customers or customers that were almost going to join you, okay? Because old customers or old potential customers are going to stack up with new stock. It's a real simple concept, but certainly when I was in property, it was the same. Old stock for new applicant, new stock for old applicant, okay? Really remember that it's still the same fundamental process when we think about this. So just because you've pitched something to somebody before and they've said no, if you're not telling them about a new program which may be completely their jam, completely different to say like something else that you've spoken to them about, you're missing a trick, because that's how you're going to get a lot of these people on the fence over the line with something new like this. So Coach Summit, I'm pretty confident this will go ahead, okay? So those of you guys that are newer coaches, make sure that you are hitting Success Club so that you get your ticket for free. 3 out of your first 6 months in Success Club will ensure that you get that summit ticket for free. And again, like talking about goals, for me as a new coach, that was like, I don't care about any of the other fluff, any of the other stuff, any of the coaches or the trainers are talking about. For me, I had my blinders on, and Success Club was a non-negotiable, and I was going to make it happen, and I did. And if you take that intentional mindset into your business as a new coach and try to avoid any other complication, just focus on getting 3 people with a challenge pack over the line those first 3 months, I promise you again, intention with action equals achieving those goals. Okay. Book of the week. This is a book I mentioned last week. This is Ant's book that he actually, I think it's his most recent book, but it's only on Audible. And I spoke about it last week, but what I love, and I'm still moving through it because I don't do it every day, if I'm being honest. The first half is all about life lessons and really about how you can take life lessons and apply them to your life, no matter whether it's for coaching, for your career, for your personal life. And then the second half is actually daily tasks. And each daily task is literally a bit of listening for about 3-4 minutes. But they are little tasks that he wants you to do and complete every day for 28 days. And honestly, these are incredible. They're like, for those of you guys, I know Charlotte is the one that introduced Ant Middleton to me, so she can take all the credit for this. But for those of you guys that haven't listened to his books, like, I don't know whether it's just me. I really don't think it is just me. The way that he tells stories about his life and the lessons that he's learned really helps you understand in your own life what you need to do to move things forward in all manner of different ways. So if you haven't listened to his books, even if you're a newer coach, like, get listening, because he inspires the crap. I think he's the most inspirational person I've ever come across. Like, Jen Sincero, I love her, but she can move aside. Charlotte's nodding her head. Charlotte, do you want to add anything? No.
Just that he is an absolute legend. He is so relatable, and he is just hardcore. What you see is what you get, and he is just incredible. I can't recommend him enough. He's an absolute legend. If you haven't read his books, read them, because even if you've not been in the forces or anything like that, which most of us haven't, he is still incredibly relatable, like, so relatable. He's a genius. So yeah.
And I think what I also love as a Brit is a lot of the personal development books that we have access to, let's face it, are American. I love Americans. If you know me, you know I love America. It's one of the things I love so much about this business, because I just love them as people. But I feel like Ant is so, like, typically British. He's so relatable in that sense. And I don't believe that we've got that many British personal development mindset people. I think we're a bit behind in terms of that kind of thing, because it's a bit out there. But Ant just brings it all down to earth. And yeah, I think you guys will all resonate with those if you've not listened. He is amazing. Right. Oh, well, that's interesting. Is you've left a completely blank slide. Sorry about that. Right. So the tracker prize. Guys, make sure you are doing your tracker and submitting it every week. Maybe just write a note in your diary. Every Thursday, it is going to be the same. Every Thursday, I ask you guys your tracker. It's not because I want to beat anyone with a stick. It's because I want you guys to see success in your business. And honestly, whether you're new or more seasoned, it doesn't matter. The quicker that you start completing this daily tracker, the quicker that you're going to see success. This tracker is devised by the very top coaches in the network and corporate to really sit down and say, right, if someone does X tasks a day, they will ensure success. And they did a test on this Success Club tracker, and they said people doing the tracker versus not doing it were 3 times more successful than those who just said, do you know what, I've kind of done it, I've done it in my head, which honestly was me in the beginning. Please make sure you're doing it. We do a weekly tracker prize. I always give £15 or $15 to you guys, you know, whoever wins this one, of whatever vouchers you want that I can get for you as online on vouchers. So please ensure you do it, because honestly, you will not be building a business unless you're doing this tracker from top to bottom. Yeah, it doesn't mean you need to spend all day on it. It just might mean you spend like 1 or 2 minutes on each task. And I promise you it is possible. I built my business in like an hour a day in the beginning, and I used the tracker. Okay, so the winner this week is Claire. So well done. And well done to everybody else that has submitted them. So the Success Club board, and I just want to start by saying, guys, if you are feeling like, oh my goodness, what am I doing wrong? I'm obviously useless at this. I should definitely quit. It's not working for me. We are in December. We are approaching Christmas, and not only that, we are coming out of a second lockdown. We are coming into an environment where, you know, we've got Brexit and all the rest of it and what's going on with it, and there's a lot of uncertainty, guys. And if you haven't worked in an environment where it's transactional in your career in other areas, you will know, if you work in a transactional business or you have done, that whenever there's volatility in the market, i.e. there's slight imbalance, that means that in your business there's going to be more volatility. It doesn't bear reflection on you. It doesn't mean you're shit at what you're doing. It just means you need to lean the F into your personal development and remember why you're doing this and share passionately what you're doing, because I promise you, I absolutely promise you, you need to trust me and the girls in the group that are saying the same, who've seen success like me. If you continue to show up in the same way, I can promise you hand on heart that come Boxing Day, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, into the new year, we are going to have double the traction, because guess what? We've had a super SHIT year. People have probably stacked on double the weight, and therefore there's going to be double the motivation, okay? But if you're not showing up right now and you're not completing your tracker, I can guarantee when you get to the 26th and into January, it's going to be shitting hard work. It really will, because what you sow now is what you reap in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And if you're not sowing now, and then you start trying to reap in a month's time, but you haven't done what you needed to do, you cannot be surprised when nobody wants to join you, because your consistency right now, and I love this year personally, I love this time of the year because it's the time that I know people need us the most. We are inspiring people the most because they have least energy. They're looking at us, they're watching us, and they might not be saying anything, they might not be replying to your messages, but I can promise you, you are inspiring them, and they're watching you, and they're watching you to see your consistency over this hard period. And if you're that girl shining the light, showing up, sharing what you're doing, I promise you it will come to fruition. And trusting the process with what we do is so, so fundamental to your success. I promise you. So this board, we're the 13th of December. We would typically have more people on the board at this time of the year, but it is December. And I just want to say it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. So for me, like, I will often do like Success Club 30 in a month. And you can see I'm only at Success Club 6. I work this business personally like 4 to 5 hours a day. And that's what I have done. So just to bring you back down to earth and tell you, we need to lean in together and continue to share passionately. This launch is going to be absolutely huge for our business, I promise you. So well done to Sarah. She is in her second month. She's a success starter for month 2. She is absolutely going for it. I spoke to Sarah earlier on in the week. She's going through a lot in her personal life as well. She works full time as a financial advisor. Literally, I think she works longer than 12-hour days. She has 2 young children under 2. And she said to me, Izzy, I have to leave my financial advisor job, or at least reel back this time next year, and I am the breadwinner. She is getting up and she is so intentional with her time. She gets up at like 5. She has to leave for work, I think, at 7:20, and then she works a bit in the evening, and she's hit Success Club. And honestly, she inspires the crap out of me. She really inspires me. She reminds me of me when I saw the light with this business and just decided that no matter what, I was going to find that time. It was a non-negotiable. And I want you guys to think about 2 things. And I spoke to Sarah about this, but I wanted to share it. The people that see success in this business are both inspired and desperate, okay? They are going to be the most successful because they're inspired by what they do, but they're unbelievably desperate to make it work, okay? So Sarah's desperate to make it work. She wants to leave her financial advisor job. I know she won't mind me sharing that. If you're really inspired, it doesn't mean you can't be successful, but she's got both. And this is what's driving her. This is where she's finding the time, because she knows that she wants to spend more time with her children, and she can't do that in her role. So she honestly is really, really inspiring me, and I'm super proud of her. Oh, someone let Kate in. Okay, hold on. I don't know whether I can from here. Oh, there we go. And Francesca, well done to Francesca. She is a brand new coach. She's not even been in the business a month. She's already gone to Emerald. She's taken an initiative and said to the girls in the group, let's do a reel, like passing some weights and resistance bands. And I love the way that she's proactive. She's her own boss. She cracks on with it. She asks me questions, but she's quite resourceful. And that is amazing. And Laura, who has been working, really hard on helping people and has got a client in for, is it for Control Freak? No, it's for Breakaway, isn't it? Yeah. So well done, Laura. And so there's Sarah for a success starter month 2. Well done, Sarah. And then our new emeralds. So these are the new emeralds that we've seen sort of in the past month. So Sarah, Claire, and Francesca, well done. First rank in their business achieved, and they are all in our level up group. We're having a call once a week, really helping them work towards their goals as well. So hold on, sorry, I'm just going to close this. And well done to Jo. So she has held her diamond, I think, for a third week. She's got 3 more weeks to hold it to be a lifetime diamond. And she is really going for it with Control Freak. So I'm super proud of her. And I actually managed to meet her in Windsor early on this week to take her out for lunch. And yeah, we will be doing, as you guys know, a diamond retreat in the spring. So that will be for anybody that is diamond. Again, I need to confirm the dates. I'm just waiting for all of this COVID stuff to calm down before I lock in a date, because last time I locked in a date, I had to cancel it. And then also in the summer, I will be doing a Star Diamond retreat, which will be for my new Star Diamonds. And that will be overseas, probably in like Italy, Spain, or Portugal. So that is something to aim for, but certainly the diamond retreat is going to be awesome. It will be paid for by me. You will just need to pay the transport to get there. There'll be trainings, photo shoots, and everything else. And Josh Coates, who is an amazing, he's the professional coach that I invested in. He's said that he will come and join us as long as he can from the States, which is huge. So goal setting. So as I said at the beginning of this call, you know, really making sure that you have got a clear vision is how you're going to tie this all up, how it's really going to motivate you. Because ultimately, if you aren't motivated because of the vision that you see that you're working towards, it doesn't matter what you do with your goals. You're ultimately going to stare them in the face, particularly as somebody that's self-employed. You know, you're working this on your own hour, clock. You don't have a boss kind of saying you need to do X, Y, Y. You can very easily go, oh, do you know what? Today it doesn't matter. Today it doesn't matter. And that's the difference between making a very successful business and not. So I want you guys to set a long-term goal for the year that links to your vision board, okay, and chunk it down. So I'm going to go through reverse engineering. I spelled engineering wrong there, but reverse engineering is really all about ensuring that you have set the long-term goal, but then you can chunk it down into smaller goals over the year, okay? The goals for you guys in this group are going to be completely different. You know, we've got someone like Sarah who's aiming to go part-time by this time next year. You know, Charlotte's in a very similar boat. We've got some of you guys that are brand new coaches, and maybe you were just, you know, as I said on our new coach calls, you're just taking it as it comes right now. You're setting smaller goals, and then we will set longer term goals as the time comes. And I don't want to overwhelm anyone here. So I just want to explain that for some of you guys, some of this is going to be more relevant than other bits. But certainly if you've been in the business a little while and you know, you're looking at making a full-time income, this is so fundamental. And again, if you don't have this all set up now, going into the new year, you better bet that you're not going to have that motivation and drive in the new year, because you don't really know what you're working towards and why. And of course, it's no use looking at someone else's goals, because they're going to be completely different. So maybe for some of you guys, it is, how much money do you need to earn a month with Beachbody? How much would you ideally like to earn a month with Beachbody? Maybe it's an annual goal, okay? Maybe it's you need to pay off a credit card or a student loan, or it's to pay your car finance. I want you to write that down now. Get pen and paper and just start jotting some notes, okay? You guys might not have even thought about how much money you would like or need to earn. But I can promise you this business can earn you really as much money as you need it to earn you or want it to earn you, so long as you have a plan, okay? And again, with any of this, guys, if when you've done this, you come to looking at it and you figure out that actually, I don't even know how I would earn that each month, please just reach out to me. I have scaled my business from nothing to a full-time income salary, okay? And so I know what kind of numbers you would need to be doing in Success Club and things like that. So of course, your goal financially is going to tie to a Success Club goal. I would say for those of you guys that are new coaches, and I say this to all new coaches, to set yourself a goal straight out the gates of something like Success Club 10 each month as a new coach, I want to be honest, it's going to be really hard. I never even achieved Success Club 10 as a new coach until at least I think my 5th month. And I'd rather just be honest about that, because I don't want you to be like set up for a fall. For you guys that are new, I would say hitting Success Club every month. It just needs to be the minimum, and then start to think about what you would like this side income to earn you each month. And perhaps further down the track, if it replaces your full-time income, what does that look like? Okay. And really, this is what I do. And of course, like, this was a very much trial and error situation for me, because I didn't know in the beginning how many new connections I would need to build a day in order to hit my financial and success club goal. Okay. But I want you to just base it on what you know you've already been doing. Okay. And if you haven't listened or read the book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, I want you to listen or read that. It's all about how you 10x your numbers, how you 10x your results. But I really want you to think about today, could I build more connections each morning? Could I do a bit more in the evening? Because ultimately, building connections, so the number of people that you follow, and therefore follow you back, and therefore the number of people you can message, is going to be immediately reflective of ultimately at the bottom of that funnel how many people you help each month. Okay. And I want you to really be honest with yourselves and say, could I be connecting with more people every day? And I would argue that all of you can, because connections, following people and sending little messages really doesn't take me long in my day. And obviously I'm building a full-time income. So I want to share that you guys, who work full-time, you can absolutely do this on the part-time hours, like even the hour a day that you've got. How many invites will you do a day or a week? So really think about what you have been doing. It's so important when you goal set to look at what you've been doing and what results that's given you. Okay. Have you even been consistent? Because if you haven't been consistent, you can't measure against any kind of statistics, can you? Right? Because you don't have that consistency. Okay. So for you guys that are new, you probably don't know what that answer is, right? So I would just say, for you guys that are new, I would, if it was me, I'd be trying to follow 50 people a day. Okay. And I'd be probably trying to invite about 15 to 20 people a day. You might need to follow slightly more and split it up across the day so you don't get flagged by Instagram. So what I mean by that is kind of maybe follow 35 in the morning, follow 35 in the evening. And how much time do you have to dedicate to your coach business each day? And I want you guys to really strip your calendar back and make sure that you do have a planner. I have the Rise Up Dream Plan Hustle Win Planner by Morika Saba. It is not the cheapest. I think it's about £30. Morika Saba is a highly successful Beachbody coach, and I've been using it basically all year, and it basically chunks down the day into hourly slots from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And you can schedule it in, like, if you guys are working full time, this is my work, this is my lunch hour, can I fit anything in there? And it was amazing when I got that Rise Up Dream Plan Hustle Win Planner, which is on Amazon, how much time I realized I actually had that I didn't think I had. Okay. So really be intentional. Look at your day. Look at where you're losing time. Are you watching Netflix, and perhaps maybe you could send invites at the same time, or maybe you could spend a little less time watching Netflix, whatever it might be. I can promise you there are like time efficiencies that you can find. And I want you guys to think about quarterly goals. Okay. So for all of you guys in this team, I think all of you will be working towards a rank advancement goal. You should be. If you want to build a residual income, making sure that you're progressing your business and building a team is going to be fundamental to that. If we're just building on commission, there is only ever so far that we're going to go, and you're always going to have to do the legwork all the time. Okay. And that might be what you want to do, but for that reason, I wouldn't advise it to anyone. Okay. So your short-term goal for the quarter, if you're a new coach, is it that by the end of March, you'll be diamond? Like, that's not an unrealistic goal. Diamond, I say you can do within 30 to 60 days. Absolutely. If you're intentional, if you're doing this tracker every day, if you're running a challenge group every month, you've got your marketing strategy in place. If you are organized, I promise you, diamond is literally consistency with this tracker every day, being intentional, having a clear vision. That's diamond. It's not difficult. Okay. It's just consistency. And Star Diamond, again, those of you guys that are going for Star Diamond goals, you know who you are, but really think about that. And again, as I said, please, I know some of this is probably going to be quite overwhelming for you guys that are new. So if you're like, oh, I'd love to achieve this, but you're like, I know, Izzy, but I don't really know how we would do it, please message me, because I'll help you break it down and say, okay, cool. Well, based on like your Success Club goal or your Diamond goal, this is what I would advise you need to do each month. Okay. I also wanted to share this, and this was really something that I figured out on my own. I would set goals and I wouldn't achieve them, and then maybe I would just have set the goal at the beginning of the month and then I didn't revisit them, and no one told me that I needed to revisit them daily. But I realized that I wasn't achieving my goals, and so I got really like just really focused. So in the morning, and I do this every morning, you guys don't need to do this every morning, but I suggest writing it out for the month and reading it. I revisit my goals every single day. So I would literally, it's that woo-woo stuff, which again, like until I became a coach, I didn't believe in, like trusting the process or the universe or anything like that. But what you think about, you bring about. And if you have goals that you have set for the month and you are visiting them every morning, and even if you're not writing them out, you're just reading them and it says like maybe Success Club and helps we girls change their life, that is reminding you first thing in the morning of why it is so fundamental to be consistent with your tracker every single day. Because I promise you, you will not hit consistent goals. You will never be a consistent coach unless you are consistent with the things you do daily. Hand on heart, I don't want to like sugarcoat anything. That's what this business takes. What's your goal for the week? So I always have a goal of Success Club 40. Okay. And I'm not saying you need to compare because I really don't want you guys to. Like, that was never the goal for me when I was a newer coach. That's just where my business is now. And each week my goal is Success Club 12. Okay. So every morning I quickly note down like Success Club 12, and I note down how many girls I've already helped and how many more I need to help in terms of what's left for the week. And therefore, what's my goal for the day? What is my main focus of the day? What does my main focus for that day need to be based on the goal that I'm working towards in the short term, whilst also reminding myself of what the long-term goal is? So maybe, I don't know, like for you guys right now, it would be to get people in for Control Week, or maybe for you newer coaches to get them in on the 21-day fix. Okay, so the goal for the day would most likely be following up with the people you've invited and inviting new people and building connections and sharing in your stories the fact it's coming up, okay, and talking about it. So when you then get really intentional with the actions that need to take place in order to achieve the goal, you will be amazed at how it all just starts clicking. It's not going to start clicking the day you start doing it, okay? You want to be honest about that. It's probably going to take 2-3 weeks, but in time you will see, oh my goodness, I'm writing this stuff down, I'm reminding myself of what I need to do. I'm not saying, do you know what, it doesn't matter today, I'm actually going to do it. You start to achieve those goals and it really starts to scare the shit out of you. Like, that's what happened to me. Like, even my financial goal this year, even, you know, goals that I've put on my board for, in terms of leaders that I'm going to have, in terms of the weekly income that I need to earn, I've been really intentional about, I will earn X amount per week. And I write that down. Or again, for you guys, if you're super busy, maybe you've just written down what you will be earning each week. When you start to put that out there and your brain starts to pull it in, you start to do it. And again, like, I'm not religious. I really don't class myself as spiritual at all. But if there's one thing I've learned on this Beachbody journey, the power of your mind and your intention when you start to put it out there and pull it together is unbelievable. It's like electricity. You can feel it. Okay. So as I said, like, what's most important to complete each day be based on that short-term goal, because ultimately the short-term goal, so say it's like maybe your goal for the month is Success Club or Success Club 10. Okay, cool. Then I would be breaking that down. How many girls am I going to help each week? So if it's just a Success Club for you guys as new coaches, one person a week. Okay, cool. So then what do I need to do to work towards that short-term goal? Okay, do you see how you chunk it back and build it into your morning routine? Again, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod really talks about that intentionality of that first hour of your morning absolutely makes or breaks your success in your personal life, your business, your profession that you might have. And I promise you that's so true. If you own that first hour of your morning and you are intentional and you're not being reactive, i.e., oh, someone's messaged me, better quickly reply. No, like, you focus in on your goal, you get intentional, you do that meditation, you get in that right headspace, you will start to feel incredible on top of like doing a workout. That morning routine with being intentional with that goal and that vision, looking at that vision board, it's really going to start to drive you guys. It really, really will just give you this energy that you didn't even know could be there. Okay. So as I said, like, write or read the goals. Like Josh Coates in our training spoke about just writing down like your goals in your personal, professional, and like extracurricular life, and making sure that you had a list that you read every day. Now for me, I'm a real pen to paper girl. Like, I feel like the act of actually physically writing helps stuff go into my brain. I've always been like that. When I revised when I was younger, like, it was pen to paper. Okay, so hopefully you guys can recognize what kind of learner you are. Those of you guys that are teachers, you probably already know, but really be conscious of that, because that stuff's going to start going in. Okay, so for me, I need to write them. I can't just read them. I feel like it's not really going in. and goals without plans are just dreams. Okay. So again, like I think this is something that is quite common. We get all excited, we do this vision board, we're like, yeah, it's gonna happen. And then the actual like business of getting down to doing the work is the really unglamorous stuff that ultimately sometimes we're like, do you know what, that can slide today, but I'll look at my vision board. And ultimately, if we just look at the vision board, it just won't happen. So I want you guys to do that, whether it's tonight or tomorrow morning, really just focusing on that. And again, as I said, please message me. I want to help you guys. I want to help you with your goal setting. Message me and I will help you, work that all out and reverse engineer it, because I promise you, when you've got that bit clear, you are going to literally just suddenly turn a corner. And I'm just going to, Charlotte, did you want to add anything? Where is she?
Hiya.
Hi, I can't see you on my thing. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. No, just pretty much that I've now started doing a very similar morning routine to you, and it works so well for me, to the point where I get up and do it before I go to work. I get up earlier to do it because it does make you feel amazing. Feels a bit weird at first, like writing your goals down and like writing down a long-term goal. So I do the same as Izzy. It's like goals for the day, goals for the week, and then I do goals for the month, and then I do goals for 3 months, which is what Izzy said about quarterly or something. And it works really, really well. And sometimes I don't write them out, like especially my long-term goal, I don't write it out every day, but it is here in my notepad, which is right next to my desk. So I read it every day, and I write down my daily goals every day and my gratitude as well. So it just makes you wake up in like such a good mood, like first thing on a morning, like when you're writing down like what you're grateful for and things like that, it really makes you focus on the little things, and that really helps me as well. So yeah, just don't be scared to write a goal down that you think's unachievable. Just make it more of a weekly goal or a monthly goal, and then break it down and see what you need to do to get there, whether it be invites, connections, follows, if you need to be more consistent on your stories, if you need to share more on your stories, if you need to post more on your feed, whatever it is, just write it down and then focus on it the next day and then the next day, and then
Yeah. And I think that's so right. It's so easy to drift, and unless we are willing to take personal responsibility, which is essentially what that is every day, if I didn't take that personal responsibility every day, I can promise you my consistency in my business would be like this. I'm no different from any of you guys. I'm just super intentional, and I'm not willing to get rid of lose sight of those goals. It scares the shit out of me if I would lose sight of my goal. So if I lose sight of my goal, I've lost sight of my business. I'm just all over the place. I've not got something to focus on. And, we are creatures that need focus and routine and discipline. Ultimately, we do. That's why little kids love it. That's just the kind of, beings that we are. And I would just say with Charlotte's goals thing, she just reminded me there when she said, like, even if I feel like it's slightly too far, what I would love, and this isn't something I shared, is for you guys to set a goal. So like a push goal and a goal. So like a minimum goal and a push goal. And I promise you that, again, was how I really elevated myself in the beginning. I set myself massive push goals that I didn't achieve, but then I achieved the goal in the middle that I never would have achieved unless I'd set that push goal. I would have ended up below that other bar. Okay. And that, again, that generally happens when you're setting those goals. I'm just going to check. Oh, I love that, Elaine. I carry my goals around with me on a piece of paper in my pocket. And I think Elaine shared the other day, that's something Bob Proctor does. So just, yeah, like if you, like, again, for me, like I work from home for the most part, but again, if you're working full time, if that helps you, like if you're on the tube or you're commuting, just to have it in your pocket. But again, I do believe in all that stuff. Behind me, like just being really strange, I have a white feather on my pin board, because they say like a white feather is a sign of someone that has left your life. And that's on my pin board with all of my visions and my goals, because I genuinely believe that my mum supports me in achieving my goals. And you might think that's really weird, but that for me is really holistic, and it really helps me pull everything in. Like you can probably see half of my board there. It's got all my visions, goals and dreams. It's even got a check for £1 million on there for 2024. So like I'm really intentional with just reminding myself of that. I really believe in all of that. And I promise you, I come from a family that just does not believe in things like that at all. So that was hard for me in the beginning. I was like, what do you mean trust the universe? What a load of rubbish. I love that. Sarah Jane, I've just made my Canva vision board my phone screensaver. Yeah, and guys, do, if you haven't shared, there is a post in the team page, I think I've pinned it, of sharing your vision board. And actually I need to share mine there. I have updated it, but I haven't shared it. Just, you know, like, not to copy one another, but just to really get that inspiration work together, so that when we come into 2021, guys, we are literally going to have the biggest head start from all of those other teams who haven't even thought about this stuff, and they hit January 1st and they go, okay, cool, what's that goal going to be? Like, that's way too late. We want to be working on that now. And I want to share, like, you guys who've been in the team a little while know this, but for 2021, we will be elite by summit, which means by July, an elite team. Okay, so that's a 5-star elite team. It's going to take a lot of work personally from me in terms of the number of coaches that I'm helping, but really helping you develop. Okay. And we're already so close to that. You know, we were a 4-star qualifying team up until recently. You tend to like move ranks, particularly this time of the year. Again, as I said, like, you know, a lot of people have dropped out of ranks because of the time of the year, you know, that this is the time of the year when it's like that. But we have really clear goals, and I know we have the most phenomenal team to do it. And I believe in every single one of you. I know we've got an amazing team here. We've got some incredible professionals. We've got some incredible goal getters and leaders in your own right. And I believe in you. I really, really believe in you, but you need to believe in yourself. It's not enough for me to believe in you. You have to have that self-belief. And if you don't have it, it is your responsibility to take that upon yourself and crack it wide open and say, right, where does this lack of self-belief come from? Because it's in here. There is no one person that is any more capable than anybody else on this call. Nobody. The only difference is that one person has worked on this and said, I'm going to get over this BS and I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to figure out what the F is going on in here so that I can actually do this thing. And I'm not any different to you guys. I have stuff I'm consistently working on. I have so many limiting self-beliefs. I had so many. I came from a background where I wasn't allowed to do pretty much anything. I was really dramatic. I loved textiles. I loved sport. I was forced into route of academia. I was told I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And can you imagine what that does to somebody? You know, massive lack of self-belief I had. But I've worked on it consistently for 2.5 years, and I'm such a different person. And this is the power of this opportunity, guys. It's not just financially. You can actually change. You can become more confident. I never had confidence. Like Jo said to me a couple of weeks ago, she was like, God, I've seen such a change in you these past 3 months. You know, that's just 3 months. So think about, if you dedicate yourself to this, if you take this fucking seriously, excuse my language, and you just decide that you're going to get that, you will do it. And what an amazing feeling it's going to be one of those top teams in the UK at Summit walking across the stage, because I know we've got the girls in this team to do it. But I can't force that self-belief into you. I really can't. And that is the single thing that you've got to work on. And then be intentional and self-disciplined. Like, I'll try and help you as much as I can. I'm sharing that tracker every week. I'm there for you guys. I want you to be consistent, but I can lead a horse to water. I can't make it drink. Okay. So use it, lean into the community, collaborate with other people, go for it. We have the launch of, I swear, the biggest launch I have seen. So go for it. Go all in. Don't doubt yourself. You can do it. And I believe in each and every one of you. Charlotte, did you want to share anything? No. Right. And those of you guys that did your tracker, if you want to stay on, I'm just going to stop the recording.